This is a follow-up of my previous video of the Cars industry distribution. In this video, I want to discuss some background characters that were never released as diecasts. I did that yesterday in my previous video, but I'm thinking Cars 3 background characters. There are still some background characters who've never made it to the diecast line. So here we have this police car that appeared briefly at some points in Cars 3. So if they were to release him as a diecast, they would basically reuse Pat Traxon's model. So basically this is a Pat Traxon repaint or reskin. And what about Racing Center Mater? You know, Mater wearing the exact same wrap that McQueen wore in the end of credits. And they ought to do a Cruz Ramirez Mac hauler. We've never had a diecast release of Mac with the Cruz Ramirez livery on his trailer. And what about those black security SUVs that appeared at the Arizona Speedway? Obviously they're not Richard Clayton Kensington or Marco Axelbender because they've retired between Cars and Cars 3. So if they were to release one of these Cars 3 security guards, then they would have to have different names. More than likely named after Pixar employees. And there's also this pickup truck that uses the same model as Ray Riverham, except that this is a quad cab pickup truck with a canopy. When I say quad cab, I mean it's a 4-door pickup truck. We've never had a 4-door pickup truck in the Cars universe before. So, Mattel, can you, by chance, make this background character into a diecast? And I'm not sure if he's going to be a deluxe or available as a single. Also, another race, fire, and rescue vehicle. Not Adam Rodriguez. We already know what Adam Rodriguez looks like. He's a utility truck, except that this one is number 782 and Adam is 209. But this one has the pitties writing on the back, and it's another quad cab pickup truck, because I closely looked at the scene when McQueen crashed, and there's pickup trucks painted red with red and yellow siren lights and a couple of yellow pitties riding on the back. So obviously that is not Adam Rodriguez. They ought to release this like in a Movie Moments 2-pack, like this pickup truck and then the yellow pitties included. Oh, and by the way, I did spot Adam Rodriguez in the movie amongst the crowd at the Los Angeles Speedway, as well as Morgan Martin's, which is the white ambulance that you see in the background right here. And there's like another red rescue vehicle next to him that looks like a fire engine, which more than likely is Tiny Lugsworth. Morgan Martin's was released as a Super Chase deluxe car back in 2017, and a few Cars collectors have mentioned that he's more like a non-canon character that never appeared in the movie, but here is evidence that he did show up in the film. And there he is amongst the smoke in the aerial footage as the scene was fading out. See the lights on the sides and the front, and it's definitely a white box truck, indicating that it is true that Morgan Martin's did appear in Cars 3. And there's other pitties that rushed out to help Lightning McQueen, and they are not rescue pitties, because I look closely and they have different colors. If they worked for the race rescue division, then they would all have the same paint job. But turns out these are eyewitnesses volunteering to help Lightning McQueen, because if they have different colors, then obviously they're from different racing teams. So these are not real rescue pitties. These are just bystanders who witnessed McQueen's big accident, and they volunteered to help. All good Samaritans who likely have first aid training. Still, I found Adam Rodriguez, not the diecast in stores, but the character in the film, amongst the crowds, and he's in between two security officers. You notice the black SUVs with the white badges and the white markings, and they have light bars? Those are security officers. And in between two security officers is a red rescue vehicle, and that's pretty sure Adam Rodriguez, the red truck that I'm looking for in the stores, and so far have not found him yet. There is already a listing of him on Walmart.com, but not yet available. In Cars 1, when McQueen got a flat tire during the Los Angeles tiebreaker, which was purposefully caused by Chick Hicks, when Charlie Checker, who was the pace car back then, went out to the racetrack, there was a shot of two red rescue SUVs with amber lights. Hopefully they'll be made as diecasts in the near future. But obviously, they would be released as deluxes, and Mattel stopped doing deluxes back in late 2022, early 2023. Please, Mattel, bring back the deluxe line and release the good stuff again. And one of these two SUVs in this shot are examples of good stuff. So hopefully with enough videos, not just from me, but from every other cars collector throughout the country and the world, complaining about the lack of new cars on the pegs and shelves at their local brick and mortar stores, causing significant delays to online sellers like those on eBay. Mattel, the company under contract with Disney Pixar, who has license to make and release diecasts of Cars characters. By chance, if you are watching this video, we are not done collecting cars. We are far from outgrowing the hobby. There are still a lot of background characters left in us. We are not done collecting. We are far from done. The Cars franchise will become 20 years old in less than 2 years. So, can you please do something about this before its 20th anniversary? Cars collecting has been a tradition for over 17 years. Please keep this hobby alive by releasing new characters, new background characters, which I call the good stuff.